It's Nolan. Yeah. Had to break away, I'm back home. I know the people miss a nigga, feel that shit in my bones, but fuck it. Life is a finite experience. Fine dining, refusing to take this time too serious. I was hustling delirious, niggas acting nefarious. Sweet them out, clean them out the inner circle. My journals is leaking out. I tell my truth on records, do it myself. It ain't no co-defendants. Killing all these niggas, no mask, cause bitch, I'm photogenic. These my Chaucerisms, sharp as a prism. My bars like a prison, honor and wisdom, all that I'm drenched in. Phone calls talking about business, I'm optimistic, even though I gave my ass to kiss. I don't fuck with the system, I'm my own man. Run a program without the clock, confident. Anything your faves dropping, I could top. Now they label me a hater like I'm supposed to be heard. I wear my heart up on my sleeve like it's sewn in my shirt. You swear you're hot, but your flow is just burnt. They say my head getting big, I just told her it's girth, focused on work. If I thought about that criticism, I'd be on a different mission. I'm trying to find the definition of my premonitions. A crash course like collision, dog, I went the distance. My hood full of chicken spots, niggas keep the biscuits. They spilling tea up on a nigga, let it be hibiscus. That bullshit, I stay above it like a flying nimbus. Orion's image, I'm shining with higher limits. Competition coming my way, you know I am winning like the slang in London. I am in it, risk cryogenic, that's frozen. Chosen by hoes that want my chiro in them. Role model, I'm rolling with models, y'all was printing. Load hollows for these fuck niggas y'all been sending. I pray to God I never had to hit that throttle with them. I want my cash multiplying, this is not addition. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Now, I know we just concluded a video talking about Drake. We went through the specifics of his first filing in his whatever the hell they calling that shit, pre-trial motion or some bullshit that they calling it. So there's that. We went through the entire filing. There's also, of course, the lawsuit, or no, not the lawsuit, but the filing that was made known this morning. I told y'all I did not have that one, so we just went through the Billboard article, going through basically bullet points of that filing. However, I now have access to the full thing, all right? So this is dated November 25th. This was also filed yesterday. It was filed yesterday at 4:21 p.m. in the evening. And this is between Aubrey Drake Graham, iHeartMedia, and UMG Recordings, okay? So in the first filing, this was through Drake's company, Frozen Moments LLC in the state of New York. This one is from Aubrey Drake Graham, not hiding behind an LLC or another company. This is himself going up against iHeartMedia and UMG in Bexar County, Texas. And as y'all know, Drake is currently a resident in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know where he's living, but I heard that he bought property out there and he's been hanging out there pretty tough. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen as I always do. But the plot is just thickening, and I'm not sure it's getting any better for this dude. That's the part that makes it so interesting. I don't think this serves to his benefit at all. Okay, let's go through it. Here we go, y'all. this is the gift that keep on giving. You talking about Thanksgiving? Well, shit, I don't even call it that, but you know, This nigga got Thanksgiving written all over it. Boy, I can only imagine what yours feels like though. So let's go through it. Aubrey Drake Graham's verified petition for Rule 202 depositions. He's requesting depositions. Okay. Petitioner Aubrey Drake Graham, petitioner or Drake, requests an order authorized under Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 202 to take pre-suit depositions of the corporate representatives of iHeartMedia Inc. and UMG Recordings, which includes Interscope Records, a wholly owned division of UMG, for which petitioner respectfully shows as follows. Pursuant to Texas R. Civil P. 190.4, Petitioner requests that discovery be conducted under a level 3 discovery control plan. Unfortunately, I do not know what level 3 entails. I can only give you the civil code and what he's asking for. As y'all can see, there is a watermark on here that is from Music Business Worldwide. But I'll also shout out Opinionated Truths for sharing this on Twitter, which brought it to my attention. And then I went to Music Business Worldwide to get it for myself. Okay? So, factual background. Respondent UMG is one of a handful of companies that dominate the multi-billion-dollar music industry. When it comes to the release of new music by its most prominent artists, UMG is meticulous in its planning and execution of the music it releases, promotes, and backs with its considerable financial resources. That is true, not just because of the amount of money on the line for UMG and its shareholders, but also because UMG's executives are eligible to receive incentive bonuses based on the revenue generated by their respective divisions. Now, again, what I'm not understanding from Drake, and maybe this is because Drake never had the opportunity to work and have a real job outside of working on Degrassi. Or I think before that, he might have worked at a skating rink or some shit. But he never entered into corporate America. Well, he wasn't in America either, was he? But just corporate positions. Because I think he should have been understood that executives always receive bonuses and incentives based on performance, unless the company just being real tight with the moolah. But we gonna keep the thing going, man. Fuck it. It says earlier this year, one of the artists that UMG has under contract presented UMG with a new song called "Not Like Us." He's still on this, man. It's fucking baffling. Before it approved the release of the song, UMG knew that the song itself, as well as its accompanying album art and music video, attacked the character of another of UMG's most prominent artists, Drake, by falsely accusing him of being an S-offender, engaging in pedophilia acts, harboring offenders, and committing other criminal acts. Specifically, and I'm editing myself for those of y'all that's like, damn, why he stuttering and shit? Specifically, the song calls Drake a certified pedo, a predator, and someone whose name should be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. This is Karen activity if I ever heard it. Pursuant to its rights under various contracts, UMG has exclusive control over the licensing of Not Like Us and could have refused to release or distribute the song or required the offending material to be edited and or removed. We just talked about this. I don't understand why you would expect for UMG to step in and say, Kendrick, take these lines out or blank them out on the song, but they're supposed to let you allow him to besmirch his woman's name, call him a domestic abuser, then turn around on the Heart Part 6 and allege that he was touched by someone in his family at a young age, completely misinterpreting what he was talking about on Mother I Sober. So you expected Universal Music to allow you to say whatever you want, but they're supposed to censor another artist just because he's going against you. You don't find that suspicious? They say, but UMG chose to do the opposite. I wonder why. UMG designed, financed, and then executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with the intent of using the spectacle of harm to Drake and his businesses to drive consumer hysteria and, of course, massive revenues. Excuse me, Drake. You want to open up the books? Do you want to show the people how much money you made UMG in the year of our Lord 2024? Because Push-Ups, although a late release, was also released on streaming platforms and brought in quite a bit of money. Not to mention you went and shot a music video for your diss Family Matters, which also brought money via YouTube, streaming platforms, etc. Right? And I do believe it also got some airplay on radio, although it doesn't have a clear-cut hook. So, do you want to open up the books and show how much money you produced UMG this year off of your diss records and your defamatory lyrics? Because I thought that's what came with beef in hip hop. You introduced it. It was all above ground. It was above board. When Kendrick came out with Euphoria, he ain't make no allegations against you. He said, don't go there. What did you do? You walked right to the motherfucking pond thinking the water was going to be sweet, and it turned out to be sewage. That's what you did. We'll continue. The plan succeeded, likely beyond UMG's wildest expectations. UMG released the song Not Like Us on May 4th and its music video July 4th. We did talk about this, but we're just going through the specifics. So if you hear this again, don't say, man, we already talked about this. I know. But we're going to the exact filing rather than an article giving you little pieces. UMG relied on its exclusive licensing rights and in coordination with known and unknown third parties, utilized every tool in its arsenal to spread Not Like Us as any record label should. UMG made Not Like Us available for radio play, as they fucking should. That's what they supposed to do. They did the same with you. Including to iHeartMedia, a mass media corporation headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. iHeartMedia boasts that it is the #1 audio media company in the U.S. based on consumer reach. iHeartMedia claims that it reaches 9 out of 10 Americans every month and has more reach than any other media company in the U.S. iHeartMedia owns iHeartRadio, a freemium broadcast, podcast, radio streaming, and music streaming platform. Radio stations all over the country, including stations owned by our iHeartMedia, have played Not Like Us. There is no legal wrongdoing here. UMG and iHeartMedia have a long-standing symbiotic business relationship whereby iHeartMedia pays UMG to license and collect royalties for UMG artists' songs over radio, airplay, and streaming services. This is all standard, as demonstrated by iHeartMedia's bankruptcy filings in 2018. Oh, shit. So y'all niggas was going through some shit just a few years ago. The amount of money exchanged between iHeartMedia and UMG is substantial. In the last quarter of 2023, UMG, through its recorded music and music publishing divisions, had an ownership interest in more than 60% of the 100 songs listed on the Billboard Hot 100 radio charts. Without its business deals with UMG, iHeartMedia would lose access to a majority of its top radio hits. But see, this is the thing, Drake. None of this is specific to Not Like Us. They're supposed to get their song played on radio. Same way your songs get played on radio, get plastered above on billboards. You get the same treatment. You can't be mad that over 60% of the songs that get played on the Billboard Hot 100 radio charts are owned by UMG. Take that up with all of the companies that sold themselves to UMG to become part of the corporate merger that left us with 3 fucking companies in the music industry. And UMG is the very same company that you've been signed to for 15 years, but all of a sudden you've got a problem, but you cannot even tell us where they shorted you. You're mad at them for pouring resources into an artist that you don't like, but you cannot tell us where they did anything wrong to you. As a matter of fact, they gave you 400, 500, whatever they say they gave you, $1 million to remain a part of their company. That's a decision that you made, but all of a sudden you're unhappy? You sure? On the week of its release, Not Like Us ranked first on Billboard's Hot 100 with 5 million radio airplay audience impressions. In the week that the Not Like Us music video was released, Not Like Us played on the radio an additional 40 million times. 4 months later, the iHeartRadio leaderboard reported that Not Like Us was among the top 2 songs with the most plays on iHeartRadio stations, and it explained in a newsletter that it had been heard more than 25 times across iHeartRadio's platforms alone. What's the other song? You don't want to call out the other record? Why not? Or was that Shabuzi? As of the date of this filing, the iHeartRadio leaderboard still reports Not Like Us as among the most widely played songs on iHeartRadio stations. Yeah, because people want to hear it. It's become a mantra. It's a diss record. It's a motherfucking invitation. It's a warning. It's a statement. Motherfuckers wearing it on t-shirts. It became a part of the The fucking World Series became a part of basketball, football. Everybody embraced this record. This is not manufactured. And even if it is, you've benefited from the very same shit your entire career. You think every song that niggas plastered across the fucking world was great? But let me stop and just keep going with your claim. Billboard reported that as of October 7, 2024, Not Like Us reached 45.4 million in total audience impressions on radio, with 15 non-consecutive weeks in charge of the R&B hip-hop airplay list. Radio was only one of the mediums of which UMG relied to spread Not Like Us. Within a week of its initial release, Not Like Us broke the record for the most streamed song in a 7-day period with 96 million streams. They italicized it, meaning Drake didn't understand. How? On October 7th, 2024, Not Like Us broke the record for the most weeks, 21, at number 1 on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs based on streaming sales and radio play. But if your song, Family Matters, which had no clear hook and was over 5 minutes, would have sat at that position, you wouldn't have been complaining. Since its initial release, Not Like Us has been seen and heard billions of times. The record-shattering spread of Not Like Us on streaming, sales, and radio play was deliberate and appears to have relied upon irregular and inappropriate business practices. According to one inside source known to Petitioner, UMG made covert payments to a number of platforms, including radio stations, to play and promote Not Like Us, without disclosing those payments to listeners. This practice, known as payola, is prohibited by the Communications Act of 1934. It's the same shit he said about Spotify. And now they're saying this to iHeart. They go back to 2006. So basically, you've almost duplicated the same filing on a federal level in New York and on a state level in Texas. It's basically the same shit. We're going to skip the stuff that we already know and give them a chance to reveal something new, because the shit you already presented us with is not compelling. Petitioner has been unable to confirm whether any iHeart radio stations were among the stations paid as part of UMG's pay-to-play scheme, or whether there was any direct payments from UMG to iHeartRadio to promote Not Like Us. What do you mean Petitioner's unable to confirm? You saying, so these are just allegations with no base? You have nothing? You have no screenshots, no bank statements, no transactions from Cash App? You ain't got a Venmo, you ain't got a goddamn Apple Pay or nothing? Not even a Google Pay? Not a J Pay? Okay. Given iHeartMedia's status as the number 1 audio company in the country, Petitioner believes that UMG engaged in similar tactics to drive radio play of Not Like Us on iHeartMedia stations. I don't like this, because this is undermining Kendrick Lamar's popularity. It's basically stating that Drake believes there's no possible way that Kendrick Lamar could have gotten this much success off one particular song. Because how? You're basically acting like he's an underground artist that dissed you, and Universal said, oh, let's get behind him. That's not how this played out. Kendrick Lamar is one of the most successful artists in the music industry. He didn't have the same amount of numbers and records and success as a Drake. But when y'all come to the showdown and it's a boxing match and all the viewers are tuned in and your ass get knocked out, guess what that does to the person that knocked you out? It drives their value through the roof. The ball is in their court. You just cannot accept your defeat. This is fucking pitiful. The documentation that I'm reading right now should actually be your resignation from hip hop. It shouldn't have none of this. It should say, hey guys, I've had a rough time. I don't know if this is the place that I need to be right now. I'm going through a real transitional phase in my life. And I think until further notice, I think I need to take a break, perhaps resign from my position, take some leave, some absence to go figure some things out. That's what it really should say. But he ain't gonna do that. UMG also directed its digital marketing team to use discretionary funds provided or reimbursed by UMG to pay unknown third parties to share the Not Like Us song and video in the days after they were released. So he's alleging that some sort of money, and discretionary funds is like kind of like disposable money that's set aside to go wherever. And they're saying it was paid to unknown third parties. Excuse me. He can't even confirm who these parties are. The purpose of UMG's payments to third parties was to inflate artificially the metrics reported relating to Not Like Us, to encourage media and music critic commentary, and ultimately to make it go viral. So basically, he's alleging that there was some sort of music critic commentary, and that sounds like content creators, that Universal was sliding paper to content creators to say Not Like Us was the best thing since sliced bread. I don't recall things playing out that way. But ask your favorite content creator if they got paid. I certainly didn't. Outside of ad revenue from YouTube and Google. And some of y'all that were nice enough to send donations and stuff like that. But other than that, no. One whistleblower who's like, we're not even gonna talk about this weak ass whistleblower. This is the same fucking shit. This the same shit. What we got here? All right, I'm gonna go through this last piece. Petitioner has amassed sufficient facts. Where they at? To pursue certain tortious claims against UMG, including but not limited to a claim for defamation, but currently lacks factual support. How you lack factual support and you threatening to sue? That like a nigga punching your ass. And you say, I'm finna sue you for punching me. But I don't have the factual support necessary to prove that you are indeed the man that punched me. Okay. Produce the factual support necessary to prove that I punched you. Mr. Rico. We can't even call you Drake no more. We don't have to call you Rico. What the wrong with you? He says, including but not limited to a claim for defamation, but currently lacks factual support necessary to determine whether he may bring claims of civil fraud and racketeering against UMG. Here we go with the RICO. And its many as of yet unidentified co-conspirators who violated payola laws and accepted illicit payments and other things of value from UMG without disclosure. Parties and deponents. Drake is an individual domiciled and residing in Washington County, Texas. Yeehaw. iHeartMedia is an audio media company incorporated in Delaware and with the primary place of business in San Antonio, Texas. iHeartMedia's principal executive officers are located in San Antonio, Texas. iHeartMedia, through its radio division, operates more than 60 radio stations in Texas, along with 9 in San Antonio, 8 in Dallas, 7 in Houston. iHeartMedia may be served via its registered agent, CT. Well, we're not going to go through that. I don't want to put their information out there. If you want to find it, you can. UMG is a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Music Group. I wonder, did he move to Texas to try to investigate this? Because he did move like when the battle was over. He said, man, I got to get closer to the ground out here, man. I got to do some investigating. What the fuck is going on in San Antonio out there, man? Who allowed these motherfuckers to play this shit that much? Somebody set your ass on a wild goose hunt, man. This court has personal jurisdiction over iHeartMedia because it maintains its principal place of business in San Antonio, Texas. So we're talking about why it's being filed where it is. This court has personal jurisdiction over UMG. This petition arises out of UMG's continuous and extensive business activities in the state of Texas, including doing business and entering into contracts with Texas-based iHeartMedia for the specific purpose of misleading the residents. Oh my God. For the specific purpose of misleading the Texas residents about how radio stations are choosing what songs to play and the song's popularity. He's saying y'all out there in Texas really don't like this record. And that he's basically saying that y'all are being misled, that y'all don't understand the types of things that are happening behind the scenes and why you're being programmed to like this record so much. It's because of Universal Music and iHeartRadio's underhanded scheme. That's what he's saying. For all my people in Texas, I know it's a lot of y'all throughout the state that tune in. UMG also avails itself of Texas by direct distribution, marketing, licensing, and other business activities to Texas residents, such that Texas residents may purchase, download, and stream music, including Not Like Us, in the state. I just find it asinine that you would not include any other music from the UMG catalog, not even music of your own, to say, hey, I know they did this because they did this with my shit. Now, if this thing moves forward and UMG comes back with a counterclaim or they fight this thing, just imagine what they're going to have to reveal to the people in order to protect themselves. Drake, you done fucked up bad. Let's keep this thing going. Selling, promoting, and paying third parties, some of whom are believed to be in the state. They say, hey, even some motherfuckers that live in Texas might have got paid for this shit to play the song, including Not Like Us, for airplay. UMG seeks out and derives substantial benefits and profits from these activities in the state and in San Antonio. Accordingly, UMG is subject to a personal jurisdiction under the provision of Texas long-arm statute. It would be reasonable for this court to exercise jurisdiction consistent with principles underlying the U.S. Constitution, and the exercise of jurisdiction by this court would not offend traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice. Okay, we're going to keep going. Request to depose. Rule 202 permits a party to investigate potential claims via pre-suit depositions. Rule 202 functions in aid of a suit which is anticipated and ancillary to the anticipated suit. They give an example. Depositions under Rule 202 are governed by the rules applicable to depositions of non-parties in a pending suit, and the scope of discovery in depositions authorized by this rule is the same as if the anticipated suit or potential claim had been filed. Here, the limited Rule 202 depositions petitioner proposes are the most efficient method for him to understand the role of iHeartMedia and UMG's scheme to unlawfully promote Not Like Us. So they're going to have UMG executives and people who could possibly be privy to this information and the workings of iHeart, and UMG. He's saying that they need to be questioned of their awareness. They need to speak and let it be known that they were paid to unlawfully promote this song. I don't see how anyone at iHeartMedia comes out and throws this company under the bus or admits any wrongdoing, because then their job will be in jeopardy. Based on the minimal information already available to petitioner, the testimony sought is necessary for petitioner to understand and evaluate his potential claims. Because petitioner only seeks this limited testimony, the benefit of allowing petitioner to take the requested depositions outweighs any associated burden or expense to iHeartMedia and UMG. Moreover, the interest of justice is served by allowing petitioner to investigate potential claims before filing. These depositions are necessary as part of the requirements of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 13 for petitioner to make an informed decision about any future legal action. Of course, this is all just to inform Drake in case any wrongdoing was done, but he's alleging that he has facts, but says I don't have the facts. Petitioner seeks an oral deposition of iHeartMedia via corporate representatives to investigate evidence of UMG's provision of financial benefits to iHeartMedia in exchange for obtaining airplay of Not Like Us to spread the song to billions of listeners, and to learn the identities and practices of any direct participants in a pay-to-play scheme, including any intermediaries who may have been involved. Petitioner seeks an oral deposition of UMG via corporate representatives to investigate evidence of UMG's conspiracy. Here we go. These words. To increase radio play for Not Like Us by providing iHeartMedia with financial benefits and to learn the identities and practices of any direct participants in a pay-to-play scheme, including any intermediaries who may have been involved. Critical evidence relevant to petitioner's potential claims, including the identities of potential defendants, is not available to him. The benefit of allowing the requested deposition outweighs the burden or expense of the procedure. So, Drake, you're literally filing paperwork and asking the people that you're accusing to do the work for you. You want iHeartMedia, you want Universal Music to come to the table under a deposition to say, yes, we colluded with each other for the takedown of Drake. You have no facts. You have no information. You have nothing. And you want them to come to the table and say, yes, we did it because you filed paperwork. Boy, oh boy. The song is just a better song and it's more popular. People like it. People don't like you right now. And I know you don't like that. It's hard to accept. It's really your first time having to go through this in such a public platform. But that's where it's at. You still have a fan base that you can cater to. Your best bet is to just give music to them, provide them with experiences. But the stronghold you had on the music industry and entertainment at large, that's over with. And any hopes that you had of regaining it, you threw it out the window with these filings, these motions, these allegations. Let's continue. Critical evidence relevant to petitioner's potential claims include, but not limited to, the identities of unknown defendants is not available to him, and without the requested deposition, he may be unable to pursue such claims. You want them to do the work for you. For the reasons set forth above, petitioner avers that the likely benefit of allowing petitioner to take the requested deposition to investigate potential claims outweighs the burden or expense of the procedure. Authority for depositions, that talks about Texas having the authority. Other interested persons. Petitioner is unaware of other interested persons at the time. You don't even have a single person of interest that you could just bring to the table. You didn't throw the CEO in there. You didn't throw nobody. You are unaware of everything, but you're aware of your allegations. Prayer for relief. Petitioner respectfully requests that the court issue an order setting a date for hearing on this petition with at least 15 days notice, and that after that hearing, issue an order requiring iHeartMedia's corporate representatives to testify by oral deposition related to the matters described herein so that they could go in for questioning and deny. That's what they're going to do. Requiring UMG's corporate representatives to testify by oral deposition related to the matters described herein, and for all other relief at law or in equity to which petitioner may be shown to be justly entitled. Okay, so they filled all this out November 21st. It was submitted yesterday. What a fucking joke. Y'all got the gist of it. He ain't got nothing, right? But he's alleging that UMG paid content creators, paid people in radio positions, paid Spotify, paid all of these different individuals and employees of the corporation to amplify Not Like Us to astronomical amounts, right? Well, content creator, journalist, commentator, I should say, Rob Markman came out today and he spoke on how Drake team, or someone affiliated with Drake team, let's say that, a team affiliated with OVO, as he stated, reached out to him to show the boy some love in the heart of the battle, meaning that they actually reached out to this man said, we know you're unbiased, but we need you to show the boy some love. I'm going to let him say the rest because I don't even want to put words in his mouth or, redirect the conversation with my own interpretation of what he said. We got Rob Markman on video stating how he was reached out to. And this ain't from Kendrick or Universal.
I'm gonna read the lyrics, man. Fuck yeah. I work hard for this shit. And all these other YouTubers work hard for this shit. I'm not giving anything back to the label while at the same time promoting your artist. Like, fuck out of here. So it was a big headline and a big deal when Kendrick said, hey man, for all those reacting to Not Like Us, we're gonna whitelist. To me, that was good strategy. You know what I'm saying? That Drake could have done the same thing. I'm sure Drake could have done the same thing. I'll tell you one further, and I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't said this, and I was approached during the battle by a team connected with the OVO side and asked me to show the boy some love. Again, I was being as unbiased as possible. I was calling it like I said, but they asked me, yo, we know you're unbiased. Really said it. We know you're unbiased. And we like that you're unbiased and you really try to call it straight, but can you show the guy some love? And no money was offered. No, absolutely no money was offered. But, they kind of offered some things, some information, some access, and say, yo, and we'll make it that you could play his songs in your videos. We'll whitelist it. Ultimately, I declined. For my own personal reasons. I just feel like my allegiance is to y'all. If I took that and swayed one way, then I just wasn't being myself, and then how could y'all trust me after that? I never thought I would talk about it, but in reading this, all I'm saying is both sides. If this is true about UMG and Not Like Us, and paying the podcast, and we know the whitelisting is true, and trying to get promotion for the record through podcasters and streamers, and if that is true, all I'm saying is, and the reason why I share that is that, hey, both sides were trying to play the game. It's just one side won, if that is true. You know what I'm saying?
That's Rob Markman, y'all. Unbiased, balanced. I feel like I'm way more opinionated than he is, but I strive to be as balanced and objective as possible. I don't refer to myself as unbiased. A lot of people say, J Nolan, you biased. I think we all have personal bias. We all identify with things. And the whole point of commentary is to share your perspective. Your perspective is always going to be whether you're leaning toward facts, whether you're leaning towards somebody that you think is attractive, whether you're leaning towards, somebody who in your eyes may seem a little bit more righteous, or you may identify with the villain. Whatever it is in any scenario, when you're presented with this on the left, this on the right, your brain is going to associate with one or the other. Or you may say neither, right? That's also an option. I don't fuck with neither options. But typically, one or the other, you're gonna sway one way or the other. That's what bias is. But when presented with facts, you can only go with what seems right to you. So Rob Markman comes out and he says, hey man, I'm listening to the records. We're talking about them. We're reading the lyrics, trying to identify and break down what these artists are talking about. And somebody associated with OVO in some form or fashion reaches out to him and says, hey man, we know you unbiased, but we need a little help out here, brother. The fight seems to be a little bit fixed out here. Kendrick really is what the culture's feeling, and this shit ain't feeling good on our end.
We know people respect you, because the whole reason they would go to somebody like a Rob Markman to begin with is because of the integrity that he's held himself to. So if he says, I genuinely feel like this is better, or I genuinely feel like Drake is delivering his this is better, or, you know, I like this record better than Kendrick Lamar, people are going to believe him. And some people, although I think many people would have shat on him, to be honest, because even when I had any minute critique of Kendrick Lamar, it's people that say, nigga, shut up. Don't say that, buzz. Hey, you being hey. And I'm like, bruh, I'm being as general and objective as I possibly can. I don't feel like anyone is perfect. I for damn sure know I ain't. But they go to him because if he says that, he could possibly sway the opinion of maybe somebody who looks up to a Rob Markman, or somebody who wants to be like Rob Markman. Maybe somebody that wants to create content similar to a Rob Markman. They say, shit, if he feels like Drake did better on this, maybe I should re-listen to it. Maybe, damn, I didn't see it the way that Rob said it. Let me see if I could go identify with that. I don't think there was too much wiggle room to sway anybody's opinion. Ultimately, I think it would have sacrificed Rob Markman's platform to take that route. But he says, nah, I can't do that. I got to call it how I see it. I got to be honest. I got to be real. The people come here to me for my integrity. Right? So we don't have nobody that can come out and honestly say that they were approached by Kendrick Lamar's team with the promise of either receiving information or access to say that he's the better artist. Everybody made their unanimous decision from the time Euphoria was released. Niggas said, Kendrick is here, game fucking over, let's go. This shit is finna play out. Niggas was entertained, but we should have known what was finna go down. Most of us knew. But now, because things didn't go your way, you wanna pull the Denzel training day. I'm opening up cases on all you bitches. That shit only work in the movies, homie. Fuck you thought this is what? This hip hop, nigga. You mean to tell me you associate? What's crazy to me? The past 10 years, Drake has been associating himself with nothing but criminals. And you file a civil RICO against a nigga and some record labels over getting dissed. But I thought it was all mob ties. Hire some help. Get ready to nigga. Who was the help that you hired to file these fucking complaints? You hired some help, all right, nigga, but they not helping you at all. These niggas are helping you bury your fucking career. You're getting rid of yourself, homie. I don't want to sit on here and dump on this nigga all day. I know some people would love that, but you know, I just wanted to speak on what I was presented with, go over the actual facts rather than just what Billboard had said, because sometimes Billboard can get it wrong, misinterpret things, or only put out certain messages within the messaging, you know, that they feel is relevant, but that doesn't mean that I think it's relevant or that anyone else does. That's just what they believe. So I'm glad we got to see the entire thing and actually see what Drake's issue is. It sounds like it's the very same issue he had with Spotify and UMG. This is just UMG and iHeartRadio. It's basically a full rebrand. He's feeling some type of way. He's suffering losses, right? The market's not accepting him and his music the same way. It seems that nobody in black media is really fucking with him outside of academics. He's got to go sit with people like QXC and show up in Aiden Ross's stream chats and stuff like that and Kai Cenat give him some love too, because he's having fun. He don't want no enemies. But the folks that really know what's going on, they not really fucking with you right now. And I don't know if they ever will based on the way that you've behaved yourself. Sound like we chastising a child. Ain't that about a bit? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. And for those of y'all that want to take this conversation, well, I ain't gonna say this conversation further, but for those of y'all that want additional content from your boy J Nolan, y'all can join us over there on Patreon for exclusive content, typically reacting to music and videos due to YouTube's copyright restraints. We can't touch those. So if you want those unfiltered and to actually hear and see what we're reacting to, you got to join us over there until YouTube starts giving your boy a little bit more love. All right. Much love and respect. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Yeah, king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.